Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. Today I'm going to talk about some books I have in my possession, which any serious collector of photography and photography accessories should have, in my opinion. And I'm talking about some books that they may still be in production. I'm not sure, I doubt it. But many of you would have heard of the British Journal of Photography, and they used to put out an almanac every year, and I have 4 copies. I don't know whether I got these from my dad or whether I bought them in a bookshop one day, but I've got 1956, 1955, 1957 and 1954. Now these were all I was not quite a teenager back then, in those days, but my dad was right into photography, and I think I remember going to one of his friends' places who had a whole bookshelf, a whole row of books of those almanacs in his place, and I was enthralled by them when I was only young. And they are really quite interesting, and lots of ads. The ads are fascinating in themselves. If you want to do any research on old cameras, and you can come across cameras in there I'd never heard of, but then when you go and do an internet search, you find them and actually find photos that people have taken with them. I mean, my dad, this is what I started off with. This was my dad's Kodak Retina, and this is a camera of the 1950s, and they were called miniature cameras in those days. But anyway, I digress a little bit. So I might just read a couple of things, and they are really good, because the photography, and they always had a pictorial supplement in the book, and it was always black and white, although there was some colour was coming in, but mostly black and white. And these photos were taken by amateurs and professionals, I think, and they're really quite amazing considering the equipment they were using, and their abilities with these cameras was terrific. But I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll just have a look at some of the things in here. Where was I going to start here? For instance, here's a bellows type camera, which is called the GB110 or 110. I'll just read out what it says about it. It's also got the GB630. And that's the illustration there, is the GB630, I think. It says the GB630 combines extreme simplicity with all the features that make for first-class results under a wide variety of conditions. With an f6.3 coated anastigmatic lens and 3 shutter speeds, the 630 gives 12 exposures, 2¼ by 2¼ square inches, handsomely finished with an all-metal body, grained leather cloth covered, and satin chrome sides. The 630 is a camera of distinction, and the price back then in 1956 was £10, 8 and 6, bearing in mind, in Britain it was pounds, shillings and pence, the same as we had in Australia until 1966 when decimal currency came over. And they also had the GB110 with an f11 fixed focus lens. That price was £5.19 and 10. That was going to be available in the spring of 1956. And the GB450 with f4.5 coated anastigmat lens. And then over here, this one here brings back memories to me. I don't know whether you can see what that is there. It's the Jano postcard camera. And I looked that up on the internet. You might want to look that up and have a look and see what the Jano postcard camera was all about. And I remember when I was a kid, we went to the Adelaide Zoo once, and there was a man with one of these. They're quite big cameras, and on a tripod, and he was taking family groups, and I had photos taken with one of my brothers and also my cousin on that camera, and they would develop them on the spot and give you a postcard size print to take home with you. Quite amazing. I'll just read what it says here. Jano, while you wait, postcard camera. Used the world over. Takes and finishes photographs in black and white in less than 5 minutes. No plates, no films, no darkroom. A complete studio and darkroom process, normally requiring half an hour, can be accomplished in less than 5 minutes with the Jano camera. Takes photos on paper cards, 5.5 by 3.5 inch size, suitable for indoor or outdoor photography, completely portable, now available. Jano Junior taking size 3.5 by 2.5. So there you go, the ideal camera for tourists, trade, fairs, garden parties, etc, etc. And they were based in Harrow Road, a corner of Edgware Road in London, the Jano Camera Company. I bet you didn't know much about that, or maybe you did. And all sorts of stuff being advertised, and a lot of darkroom equipment. There's the Blumfield Enlarger, and get in touch with Fallowfield for tape recorders and all makes of photographic supplies. So tape recorders were coming in back then. And Cosmos Photographic Papers, Johnson's of Hendon Limited. There you go. Some of these, if you can get hold of these books, so they're selling on internet on eBay for about $30, I think, some of these. Johnson & Johnson for all your supplies for your darkroom equipment. And here's another Ross, another camera, the Ross Ensign. Cameras which live up to their Ross lenses. Not only the lens, but every single part of a Ross Ensign camera is made to the finest precision limits. A unique combination of mechanical and optical engineering which ensures that the performance of your camera will live up to the splendid reputation of its Ross lens. And there's some more. A lot of them were folding cameras. What was interesting in looking through this magazine, that there were a lot of places that manufactured bellows of all shapes and sizes, so you could make your own camera and fit a bellows to a lens, and you could buy separate lenses, binoculars, projection equipment, twin lens reflexes here. Ilford was very popular, of course. Now I'm going to come over now to the pictorial supplement. I mean, I could go on and on through these books, but I'm not going to do too much of it. But the photographs in these books are just terrific, black and white shots. And there's one in here I discovered. I'll show it to you in a minute. I've tried to look up some of the names of some of these people. Sometimes you find them and sometimes you don't, or sometimes you find their relatives. Really wonderful photography in these books. That one there, and there's this one here. People that took these photos were masters of their home darkrooms and printing and developing, and the masters of using contrast and being able to tell what was a good black and white photo by looking at it. Flurry of the Dance, and then another one down here. Just wonderful shots. Desert Flowers. I'm just trying to find this one here that's in here, I think. These are pretty good. Look at these. The use of black and white and light. Here's the one I'm looking for. And any of you who are students of the art of photography might have come across the name Fan Ho, which is this one on my left there with the figure down in the triangle down there. Fan Ho was an amazing, he died not all that long ago, and I found interviews, YouTube videos about his life. In fact, I'll put a link to one of them underneath. He was an amazing man. I think he was based in Hong Kong. Here's some more pictures. I'll just talk about those too. Well, I won't talk about them, but I'll just show them to you. So there you go. And there's reviews, camera reviews, even the Agfa research.Also, which was a camera I had that I sold not all that long ago. That's in there when it first came out, and they gave a review of that, which I won't read, but it's a better review than some of the reviews I've read in more modern times. But Fan Ho, I'll put the link there. He had some interesting philosophies about photography. I'll just read some of them I found on this YouTube video, if I can just find it here. He said, truly good photographs are not taken with the camera. You can see this. They come from inside of you. These are all with subtitles on this. Your eyes, your brain, your heart, not some cold piece of equipment. And if you watch that video that I'll put the link to, it gives you his philosophy on taking photos, and it's really quite fascinating. He was a master of his craft, and long way ahead of most of us, really. So I'm also going to put some links underneath to a post I did on my blog some years ago called What's in My 50s Camera Bag, and I've got some photos of some of the stuff that my dad used to have in his kit, and I've still got lots of his things left over from when he was a keen photographer, because he was my original mentor. So anyway, if you can get a hold of these books, these photographic almanacs, get hold of them. They're fantastic reading, and they enable you to, as I said before, to do more research to see what's in our past, in our history of photographers, and it's really quite fascinating. So there you go. I hope that's given you an idea to pursue. Maybe find some of these books in second-hand bookshops, or buy them off of eBay, and have a read and do some research. So thanks for watching, and I hope you like that. Like if you like, and subscribe if you wish. And I'll see you next time. And don't forget to follow these links I'm going to put underneath. So I'll catch you later. Now I've got to work out how to turn this off again. I'm using my Camo app again. So let's have a look here. Here we go.